like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like Elf. I thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube Live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your shame for the championship. Bucking on town, duck down. Falcons, pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy, then you probably smell the crooked referees on Roger Goodell. Yeah, running like this, and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. where we do that at. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that at. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
All right. Welcome. You're now rocking with the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys, where we have intense, entertaining, educating, and enlightening sport talk from your favorite sports fam. Shout out to the fam. Appreciate y'all for being in the live. We in this thing. Shout out to you, fam. I'm on the road, moving around, so pardon the lighting, but much love to you guys. I appreciate y'all for being in the stream. Much love to everybody, man, on this Saturday night. A lot of stuff going on in terms of the just sports in general. The Saints did a double whammy today, man, picking up and handling Tyler Shough's contract. As you can see, the article is showing you guys that Shough lands fully guaranteed contract. So the Saints bring in a second-round draft pick. We'll talk about it. The particulars in the contract momentarily. Also, the Saints inked some more help on the defensive side of the ball. As you know, defense is going to be big for the Saints going forward, man. And man, they had another player, but we think it might have been secondary, but they had a defensive player steal time between now and July the 23rd when camp starts to roll. So it's getting close and close, man. The full football season is officially underway, baby. So you can rub your hands like the bird, man, and get ready, man, because it's about to happen, baby. All right, shout out to Bronze, man. Salute to Bronze, man, for being a member for 18 months. Shout out to you, my friend. Appreciate you for that support, and thank you, sir. Appreciate you. I'm going to give you a hand clap. That was, man, and thank you, guys. Appreciate it. All right. All right. Also, shout out to the rest of the fam. OG Jerry, I see you, my brother Randolph from the Keeping It Real Who That podcast. Shout out to my brother Randolph. Keep up the great work, sir. Much love to you, my brother. All right. He says, how you doing? All right. Let the QB competition begin. Make no mistake. It's Shucks to lose. Tyler Shough has an opportunity, man. But let me tell you, Spencer Rattler, man. You're going to be rolling tough, man. I got interviews from both of those guys. I'm not going to play the entirety of them, but we're going to hear a little bit from those guys after we cover these articles. Shout out to AKZ in the building, Young City 9. Much love to you, Mr. Fire D in the building. What's up, brother Richard? Shout out to you, brother Byron as well. Good to see you, fam. Appreciate you, Bev. What's up, Beverly? Shout out to the Queen. What's up, Michael? How you doing, sir? Appreciate you for being alive as well. What's up, Ro? Big ups to my brother Ro in the building as well. What's up, Chantel? How you doing? Chiming in from Cleveland, Ohio. Salute to Chantel. The Queen's in effect. English, what's up, brother? How you doing, sir? Well, it's Saturday night. It's a good way to spend. Yeah, that's right. Spending it with the Saints family and fam. Got talked about outside the Saints things. Man, I was looking at, y'all know I'm a boxing guy, man. I'm a diehard boxing guy. And man, they had a lot of really good boxing fights. Manny Pacquiao. I don't know if you guys are boxing supporters, but Manny Pacquiao fights tonight against Mario Barrios for a belt. He came back to fight. He fighting tonight. One Alexander Usyk, one of my favorite fighters, he fought and he knocked out a guy a lot of people thought was going to beat him. He knocked the guy out in the 5th round and just gave him a boxing class. And I'm like, people were saying, man, this dude is the other guy's opportunity. What's his name? Mike Dubois. What's his first name? I forgot his first name. But he's a British boxer. I like the guy, but it's levels to this stuff, man. It's levels. And Alexander Usyk is a slick fighter, man. He's a master boxer. And he gave that boy a boxing class, and he knocked that guy out in the 5th round, just beat him badly. And just the guy was just flustered. You could tell because he usually don't fight like that. He's actually pretty aggressive and confident. But, man, it's a psychological thing. When you fighting somebody in the ring and they just slick and they know how to move and they can punch and slide or they can hit you with 3-punch combinations, slide and hit you from angles. You know what I'm saying? They just know how to fight. They know how to fight you. They know how to where to place their footwork. They can switch up from orthodox to southpaw if they need be, like Bud Crawford does. So, like I said, man, that guy Usyk gave him a boxing class. Let's just put it to you like that. So it's a lot of really good fights that's going on tonight, man. I've been peeking in on. So big ups to you guys. All right, Judkins. Yeah, I heard about that, Chantel, about Judkins. Man, that's just too bad. Really good running back, Judkins. 6 games for domestic violence, indeed. That's very sad. St. Doug, how you doing, sir? Yeah, he says, the Pacquiao fight. Barrios is looking forward to. He's a bigger, younger, stronger fighter than Pac-Man. But, Pac-Man has some time to train. He looks great. And when you have a guy, and Pac-Man still has the fire in him, and if he can find the motivation, he might be able to teach Mario Barrios some stuff. Because let me tell you something, when you're in the ring with a legend, it's a psychological effect right there, because you can't, you gotta turn it up. And sometimes these guys don't. So we'll see how it goes, man. It's very interesting. All right, Young City, shout out. What's up, Slim? Shout out to you, St. Doug. Big ups to everybody in the building, man. Let's talk a little Saints. Y'all hit that like button for me, man, as well. What's up, Kai? Shout out to my brother Kai in the building as well. All right. What's up, Hoodie? What's up, my boy Hoodie in the building, man? Long time no see, says Q. Quick question. Who do you see taking the running back 2 spot behind Kamara? Neil, Kendre, Clyde, Akers, Clyde, Cam, Yarn. I gotta still say it's Kendre Edwards, Hoodie. I gotta still say it's Kendre, because right now Kendre is healthy. He's not hurt. He is healthy right now. So right now I would have to say it's Kendre Miller. It's his job to lose. Now, if Kendre Miller comes in with the regular Kendre Miller stuff, then it's gonna be definitely Devin Neal or one of these other guys to step in and do something. That's why they have that room loaded like they do, because they understand, hey, man, we ain't playing with Kendre Miller. Kendre Miller, listen, you got a clean slate. That's what Kellen Moore told Kendre Miller, that he has a clean slate and that he needs to step his ass up. And I listen, I got full faith in Kendre Miller. He, the talent's there. He just got to get in, get in shape. But a lot of his stuff is hamstrings, and a lot of that's due to one or two things. It's either dehydration, ain't drinking enough water, or not stretching enough. I often remember, guys, I used to tell y'all about a book I bought some time ago. It was a book that Bruce Lee wrote. That's right, the karate master Bruce Lee wrote a book when he was doing a role in one of the movies. One of his movies, he got hurt on a stunt, and he was hospitalized and put in a bed. So when he was sitting up in that bed, he wrote a book, and it was a really fly book, and he illustrated the book. He wasn't much of a drawer, but he had stick figures. He drew the best that he can, but he illustrated his own book, put his knowledge in there, and he talked about in the book, what stuck with me was the fact that he believed that a lot of the hamstring injuries and that's happening with athletes is because of poor stretching. That's what Bruce Lee said in this book. So you guys can look that up and get that book. It's out there. So that's one of the things, and it always stuck with me, because I read this some time ago, and he was basically saying that it didn't make sense for you to stretch for 5 to 10 minutes and then go out and perform an activity for an hour or so. You get what I'm saying? So the numbers didn't add up, and it made sense. So he was the one that was promoting proper stretching, like stretching for an extended period of time before you embark on all this physical activity, So that's what Bruce Lee talked about. I found that very interesting. All right, yeah. And yeah, so thank you, Hoodie. Appreciate that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Kendre Miller for now. Like I said, Kellen Moore gave him a clean slate. We'll see what he got going on, man. Bottom line, you heard me? All right, what's up, Tyrell? How you doing, sir? Shout out to you, Hoodie, man. Good to see you, bro. Hope everything going all right with you at the dealership. All right, what up, Q? Training camp's right around the corner, my man. And the preseason, yes, sir, absolutely, man. And you're absolutely right. It's just, man, it's time. right? This whole off season for the Saints family members, we had to kind of carry the fact that we were bringing up the rear in the NFC South, right? We had to just kind of live with that fact, that we brung up the rear in the last 4 years. We were the division standard for a long time. We're not the standard no more. We kind of stepped outside of ourselves in terms of our winning ways. And that had to change. We had to get back toward winning and doing the right things repetitively and consistently. And we got away from that. So the excitement when all these movements happened, fam, because the Saints offseason was extremely active, right? In terms of all the news that we had to deal with, it was never a dull moment. We had a few times we hit a slight hibernation period here or there, but all the stuff that we seen happen, like we seen the future unfold in front of us, like we've been waiting for a movement in that direction. And we seen this offseason, we seen all the stuff that happened with the Dennis Allen stuff is completely out of the way. Dennis Allen is gone. His quarterback is gone. We got Kellen Moore, who was the offensive coordinator of the championship Philadelphia Eagles. He brings that championship energy directly from the Philadelphia Eagles right to New Orleans. He brings in a few guys. He drafts his own quarterback. The talent is here. So it's just like a lot of enthusiasm. And then, of course, the fact that, the financial ramifications in terms of blessings from Dennis Allen's quarterback not wanting to be here and just opening up, and this dark cloud just leaves, and then the sun shines on the city of New Orleans and the Who Dat Nation once again, because now we have a bright future, whether it's Spencer Rattler or whether it's Tyler Shough. It's going to be a bright future because both of those guys are going to be competitors competing, against each other. So, like I said before, we are the winner of that. Then you kind of put that on top of the fact that we have this super, very agreeable schedule. Fam, the schedule is awesome, right? We have no cold games, like no snow games, right? All the cold teams are positioned in the warm portions of the year, right? And then as you get back toward the end of the year, you got one cold, I guess, a cold game you could say, but it's in Tennessee, you're right, against Cam Ward and his club. So, and then all of the teams that we play, most of the teams we play to start the year off, most of them they finish dead last in their division. So it's just, a lot of really interesting and agreeable things saying, listen, plus it's the overall thought process of the experts that's telling us that, hey man, things I see it all the time. These polls, I don't even cover it in terms of showing you like, hey fam, look what this asshole said. Look what this guy said. No, what we see out there is you see all these people saying they're picking the Saints defensive line dead last here. The linebacker core is over here. The secondary, one of the worst in the NFL. They ain't play a game now, but this is what the experts are telling you, right? The running room is this. The wide receivers are the worst pair in the NFL. All this kind of stuff. So that's fine because all that does is it tempers their expectations of you, which makes you the underdog, which you historically, you being a Who Dat Nation, thrive in that underdog role. Yes, you do. So in the end, all I can tell you is that it is time. It's time to get on the right side of things. Now we won 5 games last year, right? 5 stinking games last year, but this year I keep telling people this team is a lot better than a 5-win team. A lot of the problems, and I put it where it belonged. I put it on top of the head of the possum-faced head coach we had here last year. I put it right on his non-masculine shoulders, and I put it right there, right where it belongs. So in the end, all I can say is with him out of the way and the special teams coordinator going, there's no more excuses. We got a guy that's innovative, offensive wise. It looks and Staley, the defensive coordinator, has a really good staff there. And man, fam, all I know is all Staley does is go and ask for stuff and it's like shopping at Costco or something, right? He got a card and a credit card. He gets to shopping. Anybody he wants defensively, he goes after. And like I said, it's strange because a lot of these people, whether they're defense or offense, they have a connection to either Staley or Kellen Moore. It's very interesting, whether it's Asante Samuel Jr., whether it's Keenan Allen, whether it's Amari Cooper, or whomever. All these guys, they got some kind of connection to Staley, whether defense with Staley or offense with Kellen Moore. It's very unique. But thank you, bro. Appreciate you there, man. That's just good energy. All right. What's up, Stacy? Shout out to my brother Stacy, man. All right. Did the Saints training? No, it don't start. It starts on July the 23rd. Right there, Chantel. Shout out to you as well. All right. Kai said I started a fantasy league. Yeah, it's coming up, bro. We do the Sports Coma Fantasy League every year, man. What's up, New Orleans? Shout out to you. All right. Good to see Mr. Don. He says he's rooting for Kendre because he's a good back. You can tell me even in the limited time he's put. Mr. Don, sir, listen. You're right. Kendre Miller is a good back. We've seen a lot of Kendre Miller when he was with TCU. What's interesting to me about Kendre Miller was the really precarious relationship that he had with Coach Possum. I don't know what was going on there. I don't know what he just shaded his little beady eyes on Kendre Miller and just like, would just go in on him with the media. He put him. Y'all remember that? He put the guy on the injury list, and he wasn't even hurt. Who does that? The guy wasn't even hurt, and he put him on the injury list. I just didn't understand that, man. That weird dynamic that would happen with Possum. But in the end, it's just good to see him gone. And Kendre Miller and Kellen Moore said that he has a clean slate, and let Kendre Miller be healthy because he is the proper back to have next to Alvin Kamara. Kamara is elusive. He's fast. He's smart. Kendre Miller is got good. He's a power back. He can use the stiff arm with you. He can run. He got good speed. He can run through you. He can catch the ball out the backfield. One of my favorite things, and I talk about this often about Kendre Miller, is his ability to make the initial tackler miss. Like Kendre Miller will put a move on you and then make the guy miss, and then he's able to proceed to the second level of the defense in moving forward. You know what I'm saying? Always finding a way to fall forward with Kendre Miller. So health is a problem, but it's the big question with Kendre. Not his skill or talent, but the health situation. That's why the Saints are fortified with Devin Neal. That's why they got Clyde Edwards-Helaire. That's why they got Cam Akers. That's why they got Marcus Yarn. That's why they got even if you Clyde Edwards-Helaire and what's the other man, Velus Jones Jr. A lot of people don't talk about Velus Jones Jr., the brother they picked up from the Chicago Bears. He played wide receiver, running back. He could be one of the main people that's involved in the kick return game. So Velus Jones Jr. is a name to keep an eye out on. All right, St. Doug, thank you, brother. Appreciate that. Super chat right there, my man. 20 bones, brother. Thank you for that, man. All right, brother Leon is some grace, no excuses. Work KM or move them. All right, thank you, brother. Yeah, is it time? But see, that's what I'm saying. The same thing should be said, not for just Kendre Miller, but also should be said about Nick Saldiveri, right? Now, let's be honest, okay? We often talk about Kendre Miller, and he had missed that in third, but we don't say nothing about Nick Saldiveri like it's taboo. Nick Saldiveri is somebody that just can't seem to get his shit straight either now. We gonna hash it out. We gotta hash it out equally and fairly, right? All right. We would not be the Sports Coma. We would not be the Who That Nation if we didn't. But thank you, Leon. Appreciate you for being a member for 56 months. So thank you as well. Round of applause to you. Yes, indeed. All right. Big ups to the rest of the family. What's up, Desi, baby? Shout out to Desi. What's up, student? Shout out to you. Brother Devon is in the building. I got us winning 9 or 10 games if everybody stays healthy. Thank you, sir. Keep that optimism. Like I've said, I'm not shied away from that. I said the Saints, a lot of people say, Q, they ain't going to win up 3 games. I was like, okay, so we worse than last year's team. Is that what you're saying? Because they won 5 games last year. Leadership was a major problem. This team had no leadership. They didn't have any leadership. And if you talk about Elvin or Demario and all them dudes will sit up there making excuses for bad behavior, for losing. And that's not what a leader does. A leader does, you got to be also a boat rocker. When other guys are sitting there comfortable and they losing ways like the Saints was for the last 4 years, somebody got to rock the boat. Somebody got to get up there and shake some stuff loose, right? And we didn't see a lot of shit shaking loose. It was Lattimore, and it got him traded in the end. Well, he was trying to tell these guys, hey, man, this is not our standard. This is not our standard. We don't participate like this. But in the end, the truth always rolls true, baby. The truth always get where it belongs. And that's what I was telling y'all. That possum was a bad person to have over top of this team. He didn't know what he was doing. He was dumb. And now you got a guy that's smart, that's innovative, that's looking at the Saints, say, wow, man, we got all these, man, we got this guy, that guy, that guy. If I could just do this with the line and improve the offensive line, I can get some help here in the wide receiver room. I can change this defense around. I can add a few pieces here or there. I can do this, that, and the third. And bam, the Saints get flipped from a 5-win team to a 9 or 10-win team with proper leadership. And I've heard all the interviews from about some of these guys about Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore is approachable. He's smart. He's a kind guy. He's a guy in his faith. He ain't stupid. He ain't dumb, and he don't look like an animal. And the fact that he does, he kind of reminds me of JFK. But at the end of the day, that's a good thing, right? It's a good thing. All right, that's a good. That means you're smart. You're smart enough to be the president. All right. So anyway, Mr. Don says if QB Shough or Rattler just plays at least average, the roster's good enough to win 9 games. What's up, brother Gregory? 11-6, 10-7 division champions. All right. Yeah. What's up? DC in the building? My dog DC in the building. Talking Saints. Shout out to my brother DC. Marley Mall, shout out to you. All right. He said Mickey Loomis is dumb. Actually, Mickey Loomis is the luckiest man. What's up, Tasha? Mickey Loomis is the luckiest man on the planet. Mickey Loomis did all that stuff, got roasted, got flipped upside down and fricasseed. And in the end, when Derek Carr retired and ran away from the Saints, it basically saved a lot of the future, the money. Like, we could not afford. His money was killing the Saints books. And when he did, his play was subpar. Listen, the guy tried. He just not any good for us, right? He just got too much fear in him. He if he was trying to train him to be a Jedi or something, he'll turn into the bad guy. He'll turn into what you call a Jedi, the opposite. What you call him? What's a bad Jedi? What's the name? I should know this stuff here. A Sith Lord. Hey, he turned to a Sith. He got too much fear in him. If he's trying to be a good guy, and the guy, the Sith man, will look at him and says, "You have much fear in you," and then he'll turn him. He'll turn him bad and all kinds. Make him drop his life save on his foot or something stupid. He'll do something stupid and make excuses about it. The leaves fell in his eyes or something like that. But we don't see. The thing is, it was just a bad bet to get the guy here. No disrespect to the guy, because the guy did his absolute best. He just was no good for what he was trying to do down here. And he wasn't set up to win. He had a guy you brought down. He had a guy. The coach was a moron. He did destroy this team. He backstabbed him. He threw him under the bus. All kind of stuff. It was just bad, right? It was just bad. So it's almost like we were self-sabotaging, ourselves. That's why I said the last 4 years is indicative of the non-leadership and non-accountability of the Saints. Not so much as the player, because the team is going to mimic who the coach is, and that's not a good look, right? And at times, not consistently, you might win because you get your guys together on 1 or 2 games, but the coach controls the team. He sets the mentality of the team, and that's what goes on. That's what goes on. So I put a lot of that on the head coach, in which he had no control there. There you go. Gregor says, "Sit." Y'all know where I'm coming from on there. Yeah. So Mickey Loomis, if he gonna fade into obscurity, right? He gonna back up because he got lit up for what happened with Dennis Allen. It's gonna be the reverse with the Kellen Moore thing. Kellen Moore is actually Mickey's gonna fade, because he's gonna fade into the back. He doesn't meddle. That's something Mickey Loomis does. He doesn't meddle. So he's going to allow Kellen Moore to do what Kellen Moore does, which is run his offense. The defense, Staley is going to run a rock'em sock'em defense. We see all the players that the defense have. It's going to be fun watching the defense and the offense compete against each other in camp. It's going to be fun. The special teams are going to be good. It's a lot of competition, not just with our QBs, but there's competitions throughout different position groups that are very interesting. The left guard position between Pennant and Runnants, who's going to be the next wide receivers below the top three guys. Who's going to step up as the next tight end. You see what I'm saying? Because Foster Moreau coming off injury, Taysom's not going to be ready to later on in the year. Who's going to step up from that tight end position? Can we get one of these young guys? Will the Saints bring in a veteran backup offensive tackle? Will one of these guys that the backups really step their game up and become something from as far as the tackle position is concerned? More concerned about the backup tackle position than I am the rest of that. And then, of course, the defense. We have all of the movements that's going on, players turning from defensive ends to linebackers, a lot of movements going on defense. Very excited about the players that we have there as well. And then the special teams is really good. Blake Grupe against Charlie Smith. Burnip going up against our punter now. So it's a lot of really good battles that we're going to see that I'll be looking forward to be quite honest with y'all. Yeah. Y'all crazy. What's up, Who That Daddy? Shout out to you, my brother. Good to see you over there as well, man. Much love, man. Yeah, he says, Mickey, I will say, I told you about Kellen Moore. Remember when I qualified according to Mickey? Yeah, Mickey going to fade back in obscurity because when the Saints started winning, he'll pop up every now and again and smirking. I don't know why now. I told you guys, I know what I'm doing. And he absolutely just lucked up on it because Derek Carr's whole situation was just a godsend. For Derek Carr to just back up out of there and just leave, it was a godsend. Money-wise, just psychological, the psychology of the team, the mental aspect of it, and just it was the perfect and right thing to do because if ran correctly, could be a team in which it can, I ain't gonna say protect a young quarterback, but if you got an inexperienced quarterback, you got to have a good defense, you got to have strong special team play, and you got to be able to run the football, and you got to have a good tight end at the safety blanket position to be able to help out. The Saints do have good players situated in every aspect of that. So it all comes down to intelligence, meaning we don't pre-snap penalty, we don't get pre-snap penalties. We keep our penalties low, and then we capitalize off of our opponents' penalties when they make mistakes, right? That's what smart teams do. So how smart is this team? If it's Kellen Moore smart, or when we know they're gonna play free, they're gonna have fun, but we need to win as well. We have to have the discipline to be able to win, sink in, lock in a division. I don't see the division as a dominant division like Tampa Bay is dominating this, that, and the third. I mean, we were in position where we should have won many of these games, and then Saints just simply, just for whatever reason, just tanked the game, or not tanked it, but they just lost their way, did something foolish, whatever the case may be. But now it's just, to me, without the pressure and everything else, we have an opportunity here. You see? All right. So yeah, you go. All right. He says also, okay. Richard says also one thing no one is talking about is about Staley. Failed so bad a head coach. If he kills it at DC, here Moore probably still have him for 4 years. It's how showing how lucky with DC. Continuity is key. Indeed. I don't think he wins another job as a head coach. Maybe that's a smart move too, to understand that, yeah, he kind of really didn't do well in San Diego. And that might be one of them situations where people are like, oh yeah, we know who you are. We know you just a defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator. It happens, Not everybody is made to be a head coach. It's a whole nother skill set that you have to have. And some of these people, they just don't have it. And that's fine. You might just be the guy that helps the head coach. You might be the guy that washed the windows for the team. It don't matter. You got a role, and everybody need to do their damn role the right way, right? All right. Yeah, Staley, Mr. Doncie, I don't know what to think about Staley. I think Staley going to do a good job as a defensive coordinator. The Saints have the personnel to run that 3-4, bro. They have the personnel. That's going to be really fun watching to see how that all goes, right? All right, so let's jump right into it, man. Let's talk about this article right here. Let me get it on full screen for the fam to kind of get into it. Y'all hit the like button for me, man. And shout out to Yard Barker. Saints quarterback Tyler Shough finally lands he gets the fully guaranteed contract. Although the Saints are entering a new era, they're burdened with some of the same issues that have plagued them for years. The roster is riddled with uncertainties. Come on, it's not riddled with uncertainties. Come on, let's not be dramatic here. And an unfavorable salary cap continues to loom large. It is improving because of the Carr contract eventually will get off. But the best way to mask those deficiencies is by finding a franchise quarterback. The organization is hopeful that rookie Tyler Shough can evolve into that guy, so much so that it's awarded him a fully guaranteed $10.95 million contract, according to Adam Schefter. Now, the contract, let's get into it. It also includes it's an annual roster bonus structure where Shough receives the majority of his compensation each year during the first week of the training camp. The NFL Insider reported on X that the Saints made what was one of the more polarizing picks in the 2025 draft when they chose the 25-year-old Tyler Shough. Hold on here, fam. I'm sorry. When they chose we knew why that was. We kind of get that why they're saying it's polarizing. No, New Orleans obviously committed to seeing this union through. However, the latest move suggests that Shough will have a strong chance to seize a starting job either by week 1 or early in the 25-26 NFL campaign. The former Oregon, Texas Tech, Louisville talent will still have to prove he's superior to the second-year quarterback Spencer Rattler during training camp, but the Saints brass seemed quite keen on him. Will the gamble play off? Mickey Loomis and first-year head coach Kellen have invested an early second-rounder in Shough, and there's pressure on him to construct a viable plan moving forward. The team cannot make the true progress in its rebuild until it fixes the QB position situation, positioning the Chandler, Arizona native for success. Now, Shough, who's praised for his strong arm, enters the NFL with 7 years of college experience, a 6'5" frame. He only played one full season, though posted lackluster numbers overall, making him a huge wild card moving forward. Injuries decimated his tenures with the Ducks, the Red Raiders, but Shough made a name for himself with the Cardinals last year. He completed almost 63% of his passes, over 3,100 yards, 23 touchdowns, and he had Louisville earn a 9-4 record. If this prospect can stay healthy and improve on his accuracy, then maybe the Saints have indeed secured a long-term solution under center. So that's some of the news right there. The Saints lock him in, they get him into camp. And then, of course, like I said about Tyler Shough, I think Tyler Shough is a quarterback that you like his talents. And I've said this before about Tyler Shough when we was drafting him. I think his tape looks good. The 1 year, 7 years, but I don't like about it, and I made this very clear on many different broadcasts over time, is the fact that I didn't feel like Tyler was a second-round quarterback based on the injury, the exclusive injury history that he had, the 1 year of solid production outside of the rest of them. But the thing is this as well: second rounder or not, the man's here now. One thing I give Tyler Shough credit for, I like his attitude. I like his heart. Anytime you have a player, and I've said this before, anytime you have a player that gets hurt 3 times, stays in college for 7 years, he gets hurt 3 times, season-ending injuries, shoulder, broken leg, collarbone, whatever it was, 3 times, man gets hurt. And he stays in there, fights back to live his dream of being an NFL quarterback. Take a lot of heart, that take a lot of courage, that take a lot of stuff that you can't buy from the store, right? So that's something that I like about him. And the fact that he was willing to go through that much stuff, as opposed to some of them guys would have just mailed it in and been like, okay, I'm just going to go and do something else. He, that heart and that determination, do not forget that, because that kind of stuff will help him in his competition to be the starting quarterback of the Saints. That kind of unshakable resolve, that you can't buy that stuff from the store. From him to have that, that is for him to have that and to be a potential starting NFL quarterback for the New Orleans Saints is big because we have Spencer Rattler who didn't do, he didn't have all these injuries, but he was a guy that was seen as a higher pick. He got picked in the 5th round. So it's kind of flip-floppy to a degree. But what it does show is that both of them have character where they won't give up. They're strong-minded. They got chips on their shoulders. And that type of stuff is what makes a great quarterback or a great player, a great person. So I respect the absolute hell out of that. Despite that, that's one thing I can say about Tyler Shough and Spencer Rattler, that they have the makings. Those makings will make fantastic quarterbacks in the Saints room. So congratulations to Tyler Shough for being that. Now you can get to work and prove and get there and compete and make it pop for the Saints. All right, let's move on to this one, fam. That's another one we got right here. The Saints also picked up some help on the defensive side of the ball, as reported today. The Saints aren't just grabbing personnel for Kellen Moore, they're adding pieces for Brandon Staley too, including a late free agency signing with ties to the defensive coordinator in Jonathan Bullard. The veteran NFL tackle is headed to the Bayou. NFL insider Mike Garafolo said Saturday he's leaving Minnesota for the Saints, but brings one other past NFC North connection with Staley. Of course, the former Viking lineman visited New Orleans last month and now officially reunites with Coach Staley, who was with the Bears when he played for the Bears, and he's with the Saints now. So he's 31-year-old. I think this is his 10th year in the NFL. Will now help the Saints on that 34 defense. 6'3", 290 plus pounds. You can play the defensive end or tackle. Delivered back-to-back seasons of hitting 40 tackles. Also combined for 45 solo tackles. He snatched a combined 10 tackles for a loss as well. His last 2 campaigns, the veteran became a rare force against the pass 2, breaking up 3 passes for 1 more than his career high. He started 17 games for the first time too, but he hit the pass high marks with Staley before. He posted his highest run defensive grade per PFF back in 2018, almost 76 rating. That came when Staley served as the defensive coach on that staff. He was actually the linebackers coach at the time. But Bullard is more than a familiar defender for the incoming defensive coordinator and longtime star edge rusher Cam Jordan earns needed inside help, so they bring him in here to help out with him. So you got Brian Bresee there. They also drafted Vernon Brockton in the 3rd round from the University of Texas. So the Saints have a lot of help there on that defensive side of the ball. Man, they got a lot of people, man. Let me get this unofficial depth, show y'all this unofficial depth chart right here. Look at all these folks, man, to help out here. You see Brian Bresee over here. They got it wrong. It's supposed to be the 34, not 43. But, an interest is to show you guys everybody. Cam, Jonathan Bullard, Jonah Williams is here. You can see all these guys, man. Look at all these people. Brian Bresee, Vernon Brockton, Nate Shepard. You see Christian Boyd inside with John Ridgway, Colin Saunders. It's just a lot of people, man. Fadil Diggs is there. That's the linebacker levels. But you can see right here, Christian Boyd. You can see a lot of them, Jonah Williams, a lot of help for the defense. So, of course, all these guys are not going to make it. But in the end of the day, it's good to see the competition that will be when camp hits, man, to be quite honest with you. It's going to be interesting. The Saints bringing these guys in here. And it's going to be fun seeing what they can do, man. Can Jonathan Bullard help? Veteran, 10-year veteran. Man, we're going to see. Saints really priming up that defense, man. They really are. All right, let's move on to this, fam. Y'all hit the like button for me as we keep it moving here. Let's kind of listen to this. Spencer Rattler, he was on the Rich Eisen show. And, he said a few things about Kellen Moore. It was very interesting hearing him talk about things, man. What's up, Scoop? Shout out to my brother Scoop. What it do, pimpin'? What's up, brother? How you doing? Soldier Minnie, how you doing, sir? Shout out to you. I'm excited, sir. I'm excited about it too, about the season. What's up, Joe? Shout out to Joe Gidry, man. Big ups to y'all, man. Y'all hit the like button. 504 Code and rest of the fam. Tim, what's up, Tim? Much love, man. All right, who that is? I'm with you on that cue. Now the second round. Yeah, there you go. All right, let's hear from Spencer, man, and hear what he had to say about being here with the Saints in his first year and Kellen Moore.
Your takeaway from your first year in the National Football League, Spencer? What's your takeaway?
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was great to be thrown in that fire, sooner than expected. Didn't think I was going to get any starts my first year, especially, being drafted where I was, but, was blessed enough to get that opportunity to get 6 starts and get some games under my belt, get the speed down and, learn a lot from what I went through. I thought, it was a tough year for the organization, for us as a team. We were fighting every game, but, a lot of things didn't go our way, but, none of us quit and we just kept fighting.
So what did you learn? You said you learned a lot. Like what would you say is what you learned the most, Spencer?
Yeah, I think just the NFL game overall, the preparation, obviously the skill set is at a different level. Each and every week you're playing the best guys in the world. So preparation is key. Just seeing the speed of everything, getting to see all the different defenses, especially being a young rookie quarterback going against, guys like Todd Bowles and many other great coordinators who are going to throw a lot of different stuff at you. So it was great to go back and watch that film and get those reps. And now going into year 2, feel a little better about everything.
What was your welcome to the NFL moment? What was that?
I guess when I stepped on the field playing, Khalil Mack and Derwin James and,
Okay.
those guys on the field, those, great players every week, but, those 2 stood out.
Is that right? Yeah,
I would say so. Yeah.
Well, you're back there, you're in a huddle and you're looking at, okay, those are 2 guys. Those are 2 guys,
yeah.
they say the least,
That's right. Luckily I didn't take too many big shots, on the year.
All right.
But, those are obviously 2 of the best in the game. So pretty cool to be on the field with them.
Okay. So if you don't mind me hitting a little bit of a way back machine with you here before getting to the here and now, what was it like for you in a draft where 6 quarterbacks go in the first 12 and you were made to wait to the 5th round? What was going through your skull on that weekend, Spencer?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, there was a lot of talented quarterbacks in that class, and, I thought I could be up there with those guys, in that first, second round, third round area. But, I was blessed to get picked to the Saints. It didn't matter where I went. I put my all into the draft preparation and, the Senior Bowl and all the interviews and combine and all that stuff. So, I was pleasant with me getting picked at the end of the day. It's a blessing to go wherever you get picked. And we hit the ground running and got to play 7 games. So I think it turned out okay.
Well, I mean, I know that, but do you have a chip on your shoulder because of this? Do you think?
I mean, you could say so. Yeah. You want to go out there and prove yourself every single week. Not just for me. I think that's everybody has some sort of chip on their shoulder, but I think,
chip.
Dropping that far in the draft, it gives you a little chip, and I think that's good for you.
What advice would you give to Shedeur Sanders, who had a long
Just a little chip,
to be straight up? Spencer?
Yeah.
What advice would you give to him?
Yeah, I mean, he's a talented quarterback, as we all know. And he's going to have his own path. Everybody has a different path. Everybody can't go first round, second round. Everybody has their own path. So take it step by step, take it day by day. I know he'll be great. I know he's, got a level head and knows what to do. Obviously runs in the family. So I know he's going to work hard and be a great player.
Well, listen, I understand, some of the questions that I'm asking you right now, Spencer, could be, if you answered it with a bit more emotion, taken that, you're better than the ones that were drafted in front of you. And I understand you seem to have a level-headed approach about it. Where does that
Very
come from,
level-headed,
Spencer?
I would say just my parents. They raised me right. Credit to them. They taught me the right valuables to go about in life. Taught me how to be a good young man, and I truly feel that way. And then being able to play at high school level, at a high level, college at a high level, and then finally get to the NFL and play some games. I think it just comes with being a quarterback. You got to have a level head. You got to be just mature in a way. You got to move a little different as a quarterback, and I think that goes for all quarterbacks.
Is it possible, not to turn this into a psychoanalysis, but is it possible what happened to you in college where you get hurt and Caleb Williams comes in and you lose your starting gig in Oklahoma? Could that lead into your approach here at all, Spencer?
I never got hurt. I never got hurt in college. I've been very blessed to never been injured in my career.
But you lost your gig, I guess, is one way to put it then. I mean, no?
I mean, what happened at Oklahoma, it's like ancient history at this point.
Right.
At the time we were coming off a Big 12 championship on a 16-game win streak, and we were rolling. I think we led the conference in touchdowns, completion percentage, and whatever happened. But, like I said earlier, everybody has their own story. God has a plan for everybody, and that's just how mine went.
Well, I mean, the guy.
Hey, man. The guy is a lot older. And you know what's crazy about Spencer Rattler, man? Actually crazy like a fox. The dude is incredibly seasoned. Like he downplays the chip. We all know that Spencer Rattler has a chip as big as the Superdome on the shoulder. We know that from what happened. But the guy is so smooth. He's so what's the word, fam? Composed. His composure is like elite level composure, right? With Spence. He's just he downplays the chip. He smoothly, pushed aside the conversation from Oklahoma. He instead of talked about what happened is basically ancient history. I never was hurt. I was blessed not to be hurt. Then it gets into the stats and the fact that they were winning. Downplayed all of that. How you downplay the chip? Then he says, yeah, maybe a little bit. And then he gave, how his preparation, he gave it to his parents. As you can see the shirt right there at the top of his shirt, it says follow God and not others. So he's grounded. So that's what I'm saying, man. That's great things to have for your quarterback, for a New Orleans Saints black and gold quarterback, right? The dude's super cool, man. He's super composed. Shout out to you, Curly. I see you, fam. Appreciate you, man, for being in the building. Much love to Curly, man. But, fam, let me hear some more from Spence. Spence dropping it, man.
Guy that you're competing with right now, and Tyler Shough is pointing out how he's been through a lot already. He's 26, my goodness, as well. But he's had everything pretty much happen to him that doesn't allow him to get phased. I mean, kind of you as well, right? You switched schools. You had a big career in high school. Then you get an opportunity. You get drafted where you got drafted. I feel like maybe you have the same amount of been there, done that, right, Spencer? In a way,
100%. I've been through a ton of adversity as well. Throughout college, and I think that makes you a better player coming into the NFL because the earlier you see adversity, the better, because you're going to see it in the NFL at any point. Especially playing quarterback as a young guy.
Okay, so let's talk about the here and now, Spencer. What is the opportunity here in front of you for this year?
Yeah, it's a great opportunity. New coaching staff, loving what they're doing with Kellen Moore and Doug Nussmeier, Scott Tolzien, 3 guys that played the position in the NFL, know what they want, can coach very specifically to quarterbacks and know their strengths and know what they can do. And we're just really good play callers and know how to coach the game. I've been enjoying my time with them. Obviously with the team, team's looking great. Guys are healthy. We're having fun. OTAs and vet minicamp was great, and we're all looking forward to training camp.
And so what?
That's big. That's big within itself, fam. Absolutely. That is, he's right. Kellen Moore, Scott Tolzien, and Nussmeier were all quarterbacks that played in the NFL. Now, we know that some weren't as good as others because Nussmeier sucked when he played for the Saints, man. Boy, he was awful. He wasn't even good enough to be the janitor. He wasn't even good enough to cut straight lines in your practice field. But in the end, the man found a way of being offensive coordinator, man, which is good. But yeah, that means they know how to speak the language. They know how to talk to the quarterback, man. That's big. So I Spence named that one.
What has Kellen Moore told you about the opportunity that's here in front of you? Is this an open competition for the starter's gig, Spencer?
Yeah. It's open competition. We've been competing every day. I think competition is great for both of us, not just me and Tyler, but Jake Haener. We got Hunter Deckers in there as well. So we got 4 good quarterbacks in that room. Got a lot of respect for all of those guys, and we bond really well. That's what I like. It's a tight-knit room. We all respect each other's games, and we all push each other every day.
Yeah, I mean, how does that work, right? I mean,
there's
only one starter's gig, but there's 4 of you in the room.
Right.
And it's healthy. How does that work?
Right.
Spencer.
Explain.
I mean, it's probably not like in every room, but we're one of the luckier rooms, I guess you could say. I think just how we go about it. I like to come in there every day and just have a level head, go out there, compete, and try to be the best guy on the field whenever I step on the field.
And Kellen Moore's offense, not to have you spill the playbook out here on the live Rich Eisen show, but how does it suit your game, do you think, Spencer?
I think just like he wants us to play like point guards, distribute the ball, get the ball in your playmaker's hands. You see all the success he's had with, Dak Prescott, Jalen Hurts, Justin Herbert, just a few of the guys to name, but all those guys can move with their legs a little bit. They can throw the ball. I think, that suits my game really well. I think I can move around, make plays with my feet, but definitely my strength is throwing the ball and distributing the ball. So, feel good with what he's calling and feel good about the playbook. Just want to keep diving into it.
Okay. And have you connected with Breeze at all at any point in time, Spencer?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Last year, got to be around him a little bit during practice. And then before, I think it was before the Denver game, got to chop it up with him. And, obviously that's one of the greatest all time. So any little word of advice he has, you want to soak it all in and try to use it in your own game.
Yeah. I mean, he can get your reservation at any spot there in town. That's for darn sure. You know what I mean?
That's right. That's the man of the city right there.
For life. Like he's the concierge. He could be, but what other than that, what might have you picked his brain about, Spencer?
Yeah, I think we talked after the Denver game and just talked about, schemes and, what he saw out there versus what I saw. So any little thing he has, he's correct on it. He knows what he's seeing. He's been through it. He's done it. Like I said, he's one of the greatest of all time. So just being able to get to talk to him face to face was pretty special.
Okay. Tell me about your kids camp Columbia, South Carolina, Spencer? I'm keen to know. What do you have?
Yeah, it was great. It was our third annual kids camp out there. Columbia was so great to me with the fans and all the Gamecock fans and kids and all the loyals out there. So, we like to get back at least once a year and give back to that community and see the kids. And it's fun for them. You go out there, have fun with them. There's about 120 kids out there, and they enjoyed it. Pro Sportsplex is who we did it with, and they did a great job organizing it and putting it all together. It was a great turnout.
Man, let me tell you, man, Spencer Rattler, man, impressive quarterback. This is who you would like to have for your team as well. And I've said it, man. The dude is really grounded, and regardless, and like some of the family members are saying, man, regardless of who the quarterback, whether it's Spence or whether it's Tyler Shough, we win as a support base because both of these guys are just really good people, man, and workaholics, man. We got something special coming up, man. So it's going to be pretty fun watching these guys kind of handle the business. All right, so let's move on, fam. We heard from Spencer Rattler. Let's hear from the other man. How about listening to a little bit of Tyler Shough? Now, this is an interview from Jon Gruden. Y'all know we hear Jon Gruden. He down in New Orleans Saints attire. It's crazy stuff, crazy work. But anyway, let's hear from Jon Gruden, man, the interview he did.
Who's in there with you, and how's that going so far?
It's been going really good. You got Spencer Rattler, grew up with him in Arizona as well. Great guy, great quarterback. You got Jay Kendre, who's also been there another year before him, coming out of Fresno State. Love him. And then we just signed Hunter Deckers as well. Him and I got really close throughout this whole process. We got a really good group. We're young, been through a lot, but got a lot to prove, though.
New Orleans Saints, man, Drew Brees had quite a run there. Yep. I mean, he was the surgeon. He cut me up, cut a lot of people up. You got some big shoes to fill. It looks like the Saints are looking for a long-term solution at quarterback. What makes you think you can be that guy? I
think it's because of my journey, who I am and what I've done in my career, how I've kind of stuck through it. I kind of bring that to the table every single day. I feel like I come in with a little bit of an intensity, going out there and ripping it, trying to spread the ball down the field, be very multiple on offense.
You're one of the best, like I said, I think you are the best kept secret. Not a lot of people know much about you until they start watching that tape. You have a great arm. You're a pocket passer. You got athletic ability. What kind of quarterback are you? What are your strengths?
Yeah, I think for me, it's that arm quickness, the ability to get it out at different arm angles, stretch it down the field, be able to attack any coverage. And I think the biggest thing that I've been able to kind of cultivate is that mental sharpness, is getting into it pre-snap wise, trying to get into the best look. I was in 5-6 different offenses in college, so I was asked to do a lot from, at first, not very much, a lot of RPOs, you're kind of running what you run. And then I think my last couple of years at Tech and at Louisville got the keys to the car a little bit more, and it helped me out. And still got a lot to learn, and brand new offense for everybody with Coach Kellen. So I'm fired up to continue to learn it, try and master it, and go earn it.
All right, you got the blasted ads. But listen, fam, the whole thing with Tyler, man, is he right learning. It's like the characters of these guys, man. The characters of these guys it's just incredible to listen to them and how they act. Like you seen what Spencer Rattler was, what he did in his time with the kids and all the stuff that he talked about, downplaying the competition and stuff that was bad. And then next thing you know, they competing. And Rich Eisen was like trying to get a little dirt, like dish a little dirt, but he was composed. And it's the same thing with Tyler Shough. Like it's a healthy respect. Like they're not trying to. It's not on some Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers type stuff, or even Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love's type stuff, right? Where they know that you get drafted first round or whatever, and they see you as the future quarterback, but the guy that got the job don't really want you there, right? Because he sees you as a threat, some crap like that. It's not that. These are both two young guys that don't even have that. They know each other. They're from the same area. They compete with each other, but it's a respect thing. So it's like, I'm going to help this guy. I'm going to help this guy out. Because if injuries hit, fam, remember, one thing's whoever loses the job, if an injury happens, God forbid, we're going to need the other guy to step in. So regardless or not, that's why I say we're going to win, because the quarterback position is going to be in good hands with either one of these guys, right?
Yeah. I mean, because you know better than anybody what it's like. Sure. I mean, you start at Oregon, you're the next guy. You're going to be the next Justin Herbert, right? Doesn't work out. You go to Texas Tech. Look at that. You like that?
That's pretty cool hat.
Now you go to Texas Tech, you end up in Louisville playing for Coach Brom.
Yeah.
Can you explain what all of that is like to the young quarterbacks and fans out there that might not know?
It's a whirlwind. A lot more people in the transfer portal than they got jobs, open roster spots. So I think you got to go into it. For me, I never wanted to leave. The only reason I left Oregon was because I wanted an opportunity to go compete and play right away. And I knew there was going to be an opportunity. I just had to go prove it and earn it. And then Texas Tech, I was just hurt, So I think explaining that journey to Louisville and Jeff Brom and understanding that if this is going to work out, I'm going to go attack it. If not, then I'll go to the NFL and hold a clipboard or something like that. But for me, it was you got to go out there and prove it every single day, because that's one thing I learned. One game, one day, one rep, you got to go earn it, because it's not given. I think every moment in my career was I treated it the same, like my job was being ready to get taken away, and because a lot of times it was.
You grew up out there in Arizona, right?
Yeah.
Brock Purdy, what was he, your teammate, or he was like your rival, or what?
Yeah, he was all the above. We played club baseball together, and then we went to rival high schools, and we lost state semi 65-63. Lost to him whenever I was at Oregon, so we got a game on the schedule this year with the 49ers.
He's making about $50 million a year. You know that, right?
Yeah, that doesn't suck.
Wouldn't that be something if you could go up and get him?
Yeah.
You guys battled in the high school championship game. What was the final score of that game?
65-63.
And then you got him in the Fiesta Bowl when you were, where were you at, Texas Tech? And he beat you, didn't he?
Yep.
But you're pretty much the same age. You're 25 years old.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't realize that. Married, you're at a different level than most rookie quarterbacks. Yeah. You've had a lot of adversity, injuries. You've had to move on from some difficult situations. Just tell me about your mental toughness and how it's preparing you for this gig with the Saints.
I think it explains me perfectly. I think it shows why the way that I am. I feel like I got an itch to just kind of go out there and try and be perfect every single scenario and learn how to harness that in for good. And for me, I try and take that into every single practice, because I know it's the window of opportunity for me is small, and for anybody. You got to go out there and prove it, and I want to do everything I can to go last a long time in the league.
I'm putting all my Saints gear on. How do I look? You like this?
It's pretty sweet, man.
It's pretty good gear. The people in New Orleans, man, they love the Saints. I mean, I coach for the Bucks. We go up there every year as a big game. Yeah. That's a passionate Who Dat fan base, man. And that Superdome is freaking awesome. Yeah. What's your feel so far? Bourbon Street, New Orleans, Louisiana, Who Dat Nation. Yeah. Give me a little summary on how you feel up there.
I think the best way to explain it is, like, I'm having a conversation with a guy driving an Uber, and we're going out to eat, and they're treating you just like they're fans, obviously, man, but you're just one of the people. And I think for me, that's been the biggest thing that I've enjoyed is, everybody's passionate about what they do. They're passionate about the Saints. You come in there, you just be a part of who they are. And I think, things are going to go the right way. So I've been enjoying getting to know everybody, trying to see what it's about and trying to engulf myself.
You go out there and practice, you look out there and you see Tyrann Mathieu, DeMario Davis, freaking Cam Jordan. These guys have been playing at a high level for a long time. Have they helped you during the transition? And maybe what's that like, having those guys to go up against every day in training camp?
Yeah, it makes it really hard for sure. I think you're seeing elite level disguises every single day, elite level pass rushes. Chase Young, Cam Jordan, Carl Granderson, you got DeMario Davis, Pete Werner, all these guys. And then on the back end, Justin Reed and Alante Taylor, Tyrann Mathieu, Kool-Aid McKinstry. So it's like, every single rep in practice matters. And I think that was the biggest thing in OTAs was, it's boom, boom, check down, boom, boom. That window is right there. So a lot of times you don't even know what they're going to be in, because Jay Reed's going to be spinning this way, clouding that way, going back to the post, dropping down. And I think you just got to trust it. And they've been really big for me. I've played golf with Jay Reed a couple times, how smart he is, what he's looking for at the QB position. And I'm excited to just continue to go.
Jeff Brom at Louisville is a great coach. I think he helped you really big time, because I see a lot of NFL concepts. I even saw snap count at Louisville. What was your snap count at Louisville? Get it to me.
Green 18. Green 18's up.
You sound just like Aaron Rodgers, man.
Yeah.
At Oregon, what were you guys doing?
Ready.
Oh, my God. What about Texas Tech?
Ready.
Oh, you're killing me, man. But Jeff Brom, maybe tell me a little bit about what makes him unique as a college football coach.
Man, he's tough. He's a tough dude. He played it at every single level, at a high level. I think for me, he's just
medium iced coffee and 2 hash brown wake-up wraps.
That's fine.
Delicious iced coffee.
All right. And we're going to play. I'm going to play a little bit more of that, fam. But like I said, I just think that with Tyler Shough, man, it's just, you see what I mean, family? When we talk about some of these guys, we talk about what they are and what they could do. And you just see the fantastic way that these guys handle themselves. Like you heard Gruden talk about how old he is, the fact that the guy's married. He'll be 26. Matter of fact, I think it's in September, if I'm not mistaken, that he's gonna turn 26. So what's fantastic, man, is the fact that these guys are incredibly grounded. That's something that I can respect. That's what I'm saying about of the toughness, the mental fortitude of these guys, the accountability that they both run with. So they're ready to win, and that's order to win. You got to have that willingness, right, to be able to take possession of the QB position of the team and guide the team. And these guys, like, they're looking at it like, man, let me make that move. I'm ready for that. I'm ready to be the guy to step there and take the team into the future. Jon Gruden told them they're looking for a franchise quarterback. Kellen Moore, make no bones about it, family. Kellen Moore, handpicked guy, is this guy, Tyler. He chose him. Was a huge gamble. And the Saints, like I said, they got a lot of flack for taking him there because of the scouts' reports of all of this stuff. Like, it was several major red flags that you simply don't do at that high of a position. A guy with 1 year, he's been in college for 7 years, have one good year of production. That's a red flag. Multiple injuries, season-ending injuries, red flag. His age at, turning 26 in the fall, that's a red flag because a lot of times they want younger quarterbacks, lesser injury history, and more productivity through the college career, not 1 year. So the Saints, in many cases, really went against a lot of their own scouting do's and don'ts to take them. So Kellen seen something in him and say, hey, man, regardless of all those red flags, I like the guy. I think he can be a winner. Now, the truth is, can Tyler Shough be a winner in New Orleans? Can Spencer Rattler be winners in New Orleans? Of course they can. If you can give either one of these guys running game and the offensive line to protect them, use the running game. They got a tight end safety blanket there, Juwan Johnson. They're paying $10 million a year. Juwan's like the 12th ranked highest paid tight end in the NFL, number 12, I think it is. So you got a safety blanket at the tight end position. You got a hell of a running back in Alvin Kamara with an offensive line potentially can be a top 10 unit. And we could see, and we covered this before in one of the reports, that we could possibly see Alvin Kamara be one of those backs, man, this year where we could see a 12, 1,300 rushing campaign. We could see probably his best year as a New Orleans Saints running back in the Kellen Moore system. So because of the inexperience of our quarterbacks, we'll tend to lean on that running attack a little bit more. So, like I said, and then the fact that the underdog status, the agreeable scheduling, and the thing about the quarterback's tough mentality is like you heard what he was saying about the reps that he takes. The reps, he mentions he takes every rep like it's his last rep because like his job, but he takes it that serious, right? That means that he'll be careful about what he do. Not careful to the point where he's afraid, but at the same time, the guy's serious about him and Spencer are serious about taking possession of the QB position and guiding the team. They're looking to turn this thing around. They're looking to be respected. They're looking to be take the team to levels that we haven't seen in a while. So having a quarterback with that mentality and that mindset, dealing with all the injury history that he dealt with, the fact that he fought back to get that, because the part was you caught the part, and it's a really good interview. I can't play it all here, but he said a lot of really positive things insofar as how he feels about the Saints system and the fact that what he wants to do here. So, like I said, when you listen to Tyler Shough, he going to win you over because not only is he saying the right stuff, and I don't think he's a liar or none of this kind of stuff. I actually believe him for what he's saying. Based on his words, his action, he's serious about it. They want to win. And that's all we can ask for. It's like, take it serious, respect it, respect the football, respect the team. You're going to be a leader, lead responsibly, lead righteously. Don't come with all this old nonsense. Don't make no excuses. If you're out there throwing bad plays, take responsibility for what you're doing. We had other guys here not taking responsibility, making excuses, finger pointing out there on the goddamn field. All this kind of stuff happened. We don't need that's not a leader. That's nothing what we had. So this is different. We haven't seen this in a while, man. So it's good to see him out there. I'm going to play a few more minutes of this here, man, with him talking to old crazy man Gruden. Look at old crazy Gruden. Here you go.
Who are you talking about? Shough. Then I read the name, and it doesn't even sound like Shough.
Who the heck is this guy?
Tell everybody how you spell Shough anyway.
Shough.
That's the strangest way to spell Shough.
Should be Shough or Shough.
But when you went to the Senior Bowl, you were lighting it up throwing the ball, man. Was that your mindset going into Mobile?
Yeah.
I'm going to rip it and show everybody what I got?
Yeah, man. I mean, they told me last year there's no way I was going to be able to go. So I was like, man, screw this. I'm going to go out there and have fun and rip it. I think that was the biggest thing for me, was just getting people aware of the body of work, my journey. I had an injury label, and it's like, man, I broke a couple bones, but it hasn't affected me so far. So
yeah,
it was a great opportunity. Super thankful to Jim Nagy and the Senior
Were you
Bowl.
surprised second round New Orleans Saints? I mean, everybody was saying it's going to be Sanders. He's got to be here. He's got to be there. All of a sudden, here comes Shough to the New Orleans Saints. It probably wasn't a surprise to you, but to many people it was.
Yeah.
But when you went to New Orleans, was it a surprise to you?
I thought it was like a dream scenario after my visit there, because I just came from a lot of other places, and I saw Doug Nussmeier and getting to talk to Kellen Moore and how they coach quarterback position, and Scott Tolzien. And I was like, man, these guys have done it with Dak Prescott and Herbert and Hurts, and it's like they've had success everywhere. So I thought it'd be really cool to work with them. And then I got to know the city more and the guys on the team. I had connections with former teammates in Jawan. So I was surprised that it was happening, but I knew there was going to be maybe some action early on, hopefully.
You got to be excited. Kellen Moore, give us a quick.
Yeah, it's really interesting, man. To be honest with you, when we hear from Kellen Moore about Shough, it's on a whole nother level, man, of what you see. A tall quarterback, like we've seen before. A lot of the quarterbacks the Saints picked up here, there were guys that were mostly, stature wasn't that tall, 6'1", that type of stuff. But you had a tall quarterback, 6'5" guy, strong arm, has athleticism. And a good temperament that can stand up over the field, can move outside, make tough throws. I've seen him make throws on the run. That was one of the things I wanted to see him do, make some throws on the run. And in there, does he stare down the gun and make the throw with the defender coming in? I've seen film where he got tagged standing in there to deliver a throw upfield. So he's had some positive moments there that, as a quarterback, you want to see him. What kind of position you want to see him in. So, but the injury thing to me is like, man, another thing about the injury thing, and I know he fought through that stuff, it's just the fact that the Saints and the Pelicans, these people are insufferable with these injuries. I think, I've been really on them to improve these medical staff. These health staffs have to do better than, hire better doctors, get better technology. You got all this money that you're bringing in from us. Do invest more into the health aspect of your organization and help out to keep players on the field. You see what I'm saying? Put more money there. And the Saints haven't really committed anything to that this year, but they quick to sit up here and throw out these damn injury excuses and blame injuries every damn year, which I despise. Don't tell me about the injuries unless you do something about it. I do not like the way they handle it. Like they just think it's something of luck. No, you can do something about it. You can minimize it by investing more money into it, finding better doctors, getting better technology, and hiring better people. We know it's levels to this. Go out and find the best people, the top of their class. You got all this money, why not? Right? You see all these other teams, they out there, they got people out there. That's not stopping them from winning. It's not stopping them from getting to championships or handling business. It's not stopping their success. I ain't going to let you bank out on me and then sit up at the end of the damn year and start the year off saying that it's not about any excuses and then years in, you blaming the invisible injury monster for every damn thing wrong with the team. Not the dumb, stupid, ugly possum-faced coach who backstabs his team. They don't say nothing about him, but they blame everything on something that can't talk back, even though you have the power to do something about it. I don't respect that at all. So in the end, that's why I was kind of, okay, hold on with this, because this man been having some injuries here. We need to do something about this staff. I said it about the basketball side. I said it about the football side. And I'm going to continue to say it until they fix it, because you can't sit up here and make it seem like you can't do something about these damn injuries, but you're quick to blame them when you fail. And we throw them in your face. So, at the end of the day, that's what I'm on, this whole injury thing. I don't like it at all. But, but like I said, man, in the end, what Tyler Shough is, what he could be, he can have a lot of success. I'm going to play a little bit more of this, and then we're going to move to something else.
On him as the head coach. I'm curious. He was on my Gruden's QB class show years ago. It seems like, bam, all of a sudden he's the head coach of the Saints. What's he like?
He's one of the smartest people I've been around in this short amount of time. I think the most impressive thing to me is how he's done it in different systems. Him calling it for different quarterbacks. He's been able to adapt and mold around different guys and still have success. And I think that's really hard to do. And I think we're being able to kind of contextualize it in his own way this year with the Saints and hopefully shape it around a really good team. And I got to just do my part and learn from him and try and contribute. I
spent a lot of time up there with Mickey Loomis and the Saints. Derek Carr was playing quarterback, and got a lot of respect for some of their players. Now, they've got some guys coming back from injury. Olave, one of their receivers, Rashid Shaheed. A lot of guys coming back from injuries. Maybe update us on what the skill guys look like in New Orleans right now.
A lot of speed, man. Some of the greatest get-offs I've seen. I think Olave and Shaheed are kind of due for really big years. You got Brandon Cooks, veteran guy coming in. He's organizing a lot of offseason activities. We're going all over the place throwing, and Cedric Wilson and another vet guy kind of in the room. So we got a lot of really good talent. I think at this point they're eager to just get back out there and prove it, because I think we kind of have that underdog mentality. Like, screw everybody. Like, let's just go freaking rip it. And you had Eric McCoy hurt last year. He's come back with a freaking vengeance. And we got a really talented O-line. So I think at this point, it's like, let's just go do it.
You said it. You just said it. Kind of chip on your shoulder, kind of ticked off. Not a lot of people, according to all my magazines, have you guys picked to win the league. A lot of this is pretty negative stuff. They don't think the Saints are going to be a contender this year.
What you say about that, Tyler?
I mean, not a lot of people expect much from a rookie quarterback. Not a lot of people know who you are. Am I pissing you off? Tell me about that mindset in New Orleans.
No, man, a lot of people didn't expect me to get drafted or go to New Orleans. A lot of people don't expect us to do good. I think we got veterans on defense. We got freaking guys that we just signed that are elite level players on offense. We got guys coming back from injury that are elite level players. For me, my whole goal is just do my job, let those guys make plays. And
tell me about your offensive line. I mean, Fuaga's a first rounder last year. You get the big kid from Texas to play tackle this year. You said it, McCoy, Ruiz. It's a pretty highly touted offensive line. Penning's a first rounder. I mean, playing indoors in a dome with those receivers, if that doesn't excite you, hell, you don't get excited.
Yeah, man. Gets my piss hot, man. It's pretty sweet. I mean, we got, like you said, all those guys, Penning, Ruiz, McCoy, Fuaga, Banks. It's getting reps with them. It makes it, we're doing walkthrough reps. And I'm like, man, these guys are going to be freaking good. We're getting the live pads pretty soon. So, and we got a good second string guys too. We got a bunch of veterans and Will Clapp at center, and you got a bunch of guys coming back in Radunes.
You know what, man? When I went to the Manning Passing Academy for 4 days in Thibodaux, Louisiana, and stayed in a dorm, I had to remind myself, God, I love football. I really must love football to be here doing this. I show up there and I see you there. You're there for 3-4 days yourself. There's something about you that I really like. I see you in here with me all day studying this stuff. You love it, don't you? And what do you love about it?
For me, I love the constant pursuit of trying to solve shit, trying to solve problems. I think for me, it's, how can you get this done? I like just being around everybody, being around the guys. For me, that's been the funnest part. I've always been playing, but being around the guys, game planning, getting that side of the game, that's what I love. So the Manning camp, I mean, we were sitting outside drinking beer, talking about what we were going to do versus this defense and what you're going to come down to Tampa. I was like,
that was great, wasn't it?
I was like, I'll take you up on it. Let's do it. So,
I don't know how people can't root for you. I mean, you're a tough son of a bitch, man. And I love watching you throw the ball. You have a wide base, very short stepping with your lower body. That ball comes out quick. You look like a little bit like Dan Marino in the fact that you don't ever step when you throw. When did you start that?
I think for me it was when I got to that second year at Texas Tech. You start ripping some of the screens out. And you say, all right, maybe I can do this whenever there's a guy on my lap. Start throwing these digs across the middle and stuff like that. And I think it was just a lot of reps with my quarterback coach at QB Country, and then took it to Louisville with some more pro style concepts. I mean, I guess 7 years college football, you get a lot of reps doing it. So hopefully, keep it going.
What's the best thing you found to eat in New Orleans so far?
Oof.
Come on, give me something.
Probably the charbroiled oysters.
Yeah, Dragos.
Yeah, Dragos. The oysters are pretty good. I would say I had some Italian place in Posados. That was pretty good. I don't know if you've been there.
No, I ain't been there.
Gumbo.
Same old phone, Nah.
All right. So and they're gonna start talking food and other things. But man, what's really interesting, like I said, is you ain't lying, man. The guy does love football. I was looking at some of the stuff from the Manning camp that he did, and they were really high on Tyler Shough, what he's doing. But you see, it's very similar to what you see from as far as Tyler, you see from Spencer. Both of the guys, Spencer had the camp that he did in South Carolina. Tyler Shough was involved with the Manning camp. And of course, sitting there and talking to and picking the Mannings, Peyton and Eli and Archie, just being around quarterbacks, man, quarterbacks that done some stuff, right? That can give you a view. That's a good support base to have if you're a quarterback, right? And that's what Spencer mentioned is that the importance of the level of, you got a quarterback coach, a head coach that used to be a quarterback. You had a offensive coordinator used to be a quarterback. You have a QB coach, was a quarterback. So these guys all sharing the vision, and they understand they can speak the QB speak that reaches the team, right? So you have all these different things happening. It's a whole different mentality going on with the team, right? That we see. So, man, you got a former QB running the team. So it's innovation there with all these people. So these quarterbacks are going to take a step, man. So we need to, we just need to pay attention to how this thing goes, man. It's going to be fun. Yeah, St. Doug said, did he say? Yeah, he called him a tough SOB. That's what. And Gruden don't bite his words, man. Gruden is he be talking some serious stuff there. So yeah, absolutely, man. You gotta like him. You gotta like Tyler Shough. You gotta like him. You gotta like what he stands for. And man, listen, like I said, having guys like him and Spencer Rattler, that's a win-win. Because regardless, whoever win, we protected against injury. So if a guy happens to get hurt, next guy step in there, we keep this stuff going. It's the same temperament. That's why I'm saying whoever wins the starting job, we still win overall because it's just a good proposition overall. All right, we'll be able to sit here and watch this happen, man, and see all this going. It's going to be super, super, super dope. Like your boy Old Fear says from Jeremiah Fears, the super dope. All right, anyway, let's keep it going, man. Let's hear from. Got one more for y'all, man. This is Alante Taylor. I don't know if y'all heard CBS. He had an interview on CBS when he was talking to a few guys about Kellen Moore in the upcoming season. Let's hear from Alante Taylor. Y'all know Alante Taylor. This is a big year for Alante Taylor. Basically, he's a veteran among the cornerbacks, right? The starting cornerbacks there. It's going, you got Kool-Aid, it's him. And, Quincy Riley is another guy that a lot of people think is probably going to end up winning the nickelback job based on if they bring another veteran in. It's a lot of rumorville that the Saints are going to, if it's going to happen, it happen between now and the 23rd. Well, will we see an addition of a veteran cornerback, a veteran wide receiver, and there's stuff going on? Will we see any of these people? Hell, only time will tell, right? So, yeah, let me play this interview y'all get from Alante Taylor. Do me a service, fam. Hit that like button for me as we get it going.
Changes at the Saints. You trade Lattimore at one point during the season. Then as free agent Paulson Adebo leaves, goes to the Giants, making you the OG in the room.
Yeah.
You're the OG in the room. What is that going to transition going to be like for you? Because you have great leadership because you got the safeties, you got Honey Badger, you got those guys. How's that transition going to be for you to be the leader in that room?
I think it's going to be simple and smooth. I think I'm a natural born leader. I think it's just something that's just a knack for me. I think God kind of blessed me with the ability to be a vocal guy, be a guy who can also go on the field and just kind of do it. At Tennessee, kind of had ups and downs. And one thing I for sure could say I did was I stayed true whenever things got bumpy with the coaching changes and things like that. And just kind of show the younger guys kind of how to do it. Like you said, I had Marshawn Lattimore who showed me how to do it. Paulson Adebo, another guy, showed me how to do it. And we still got Honey Badger, right? So I kind of call him like big bro. He's kind of showing me the ins and outs of being a pro on the field and off the field, natural born leader within himself as well. So I think the pieces around me has kind of been perfect. And I think now, like you said, this new opportunity, this new role, and I'm embracing it and I'm ready to go.
What's something about Kellen Moore that you now currently know about him, either as a personality, his personality, or coach? Like, is he cool? Because he seemed to be kind of like just a mild tempered guy, like blah. Right. Is he funny? Is he...
No, he's funny, man. I think coming into, he's a younger guy, so I kind of felt like it was going to be more like my best friend type of head coach, but he has a serious side of him, and I think that's good to have as a head coach because we can take him serious, and he's had success within the league so far, and so I like. I mean, we do a lot of team activities, which is really good to kind of build that camaraderie around with one another, and in the team room we got a little hoop in there now, so we do a little shooting around and stuff. So he's cool to be around, and I think when we see on the field when we vet minicamp a little bit of it, we can see the competitive side of him, right? And I'll be talking trash to Coach Moore, and I think he really appreciates that because he kind of sees the fire side of the defensive guys going against him every day.
Yeah. Going from a DA, a Dennis Allen type system, to Brandon Staley's, is there any carryover for you, or what's the new nuances of this defense that you're learning now?
Coach Staley, we can kind of pass things off. So we're going to play a little bit more zone, a little bit more eyes on the quarterback. I think that's going to help a lot within our scheme because we have a lot of guys who can run, right? Like the Saints always did good with drafting guys who have speed and things like that. And just kind of allowing guys to play in their zones will be, I think, helpful for us. Our backs will no longer be to the quarterback so much, so we can kind of, get those turnovers and things that will kind of impact the game.
What's the hidden secret about yourself that nobody know about?
Oh, that's a good question. I think I thrive in the hate, man. I think
you like being hated on?
I don't think nobody likes it, but I appreciate it just because it brings something outside of me that I'm kind of starting to figure out. I kind of had it a little bit in college, but now being where I'm at, I think it's bringing something else outside of me. I think I'm on a big mission this year. I think a lot of people will see that.
You know what you should do this upcoming season with you saying that for all of us, and that goes for all the beat writers in New Orleans. If you want to see him at his best, say something trash about his game. So Rand's point, you're the guy right now in the cornerback room, man, and they're going to expect a lot of good things from you. You had with 16 PBUs, a career high, continue to evolve, and they're going to lean on you. The versatility that he has.
I don't think people know your transition to the corner position and the amount of positions you played coming from high school all the way up to this point. Walk us through that and let the world know how long you've actually been playing the corner position.
Yeah, so high school, kind of real small high school down in Manchester. You put your best player at quarterback. Yeah. So I was quarterback. RPO, really didn't throw the ball too much, ran the ball. So every team was recruiting me as an athlete. The schools that did offer me was like Georgia Tech and Louisville. That's when they had Lamar. So a guy who can kind of run the ball. And so basically I committed to Tennessee. Our head coach, Butch Jones, got fired. I decommitted. Almost went to Georgia after my official visit out there. And then Jeremy Pruitt gets hired at Tennessee. Don't know anybody on the staff, but so I just decided to stay home, went to Tennessee, played wide receiver. So I was getting recruited as an athlete out of high school. So I went to Tennessee in the spring, early enrolled, graduated high school early. Played receiver for 3 weeks, had a team meeting. Coach said he's going to move a couple guys for 3 days. And, I'm sitting there. I'm not getting moved. I ain't never played nothing else but offense. Yeah. And so Pruitt calls my name out and go to his meeting room, and he tells me I want to go to corner. And I was really upset.
I can imagine.
I was so upset because I never played it, and I'm a competitive guy. So we get out there, man, in that saving kind of system, we doing like 2-on-2s. We only do 1-on-1s for real. And so I'm getting cooked. And I just hated it, man, for a long time. I just kept asking Pruitt, can I go back to receiver? Can I go back to receiver? And he just basically ended up telling me as long as he's a head coach, I'll never play receiver. And he feels like I could be a top corner. So I started playing corner my freshman year of college. And so played 4 years. Final year I played with Josh Heupel team and get drafted. And so now I'm here. So going into year 4 in the league, this would be my 8th year ever playing corner. Yeah. And you have guys who, they have the accolades, they got the fame, they got the status, who's been playing corner since they was 5, 6 years old. So I feel like for myself, I'm kind of digging myself out of the hole, only having 8 years of experience, but my ceiling's still high, man. I haven't even reached my best yet. I just get better every year, so I'm looking forward to that.
B-Mac, real quick, he talked to all the Georgia Techs and Georgias and Tennessees. We didn't hear Florida or Florida State in the recruiting.
I understand why he didn't say Florida, but I said
hold on. See.
What are your expectations, man, for the Saints in totality? A new coaching staff didn't have really a good year a year ago. No one is really expecting you guys to be, relevant, but what's your expectations? And why do you feel how you feel?
I'm expecting us to win our division. I mean, I think I'll be selling us short to think that we can't beat Atlanta and Carolina and Tampa. Those are big games for us. And so I think that's the first step, right? And I think we got to win a division first before we can talk about Super Bowl status. But we haven't won a division in 3 years, I believe it is now. Yeah. So that's priority number one. And I think that we can do that. And I think first is going to start off by going out there playing for one another. So building that team camaraderie week in and week out. So super excited about getting the training camp.
Real quick, man, you talked about division, right? In the NFC South, you got Carolina, Tampa, and Atlanta. Out of those 3 teams, who do you hate the most?
I know the answer.
We don't really rock with Atlanta, man.
So you hate Atlanta more than the other 2 teams?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Sounds about right.
Yeah, that rivalry there. I lived it for 4 years working for the Falcons. That extends off the field. A little fun question here. 2022 second round pick, right? Got a nice little signing bonus here. What was your first purchase when you got?
I got
how much your signing bonus was? I want to
see. Treat you like a rookie.
Yeah, it's like 2.6.
That was before or after that?
Before.
Okay.
After it's probably about 1.2,
1.3,
1.3, I think 1.4.
Okay.
So I went and got the AMG 53 coupe. The Benz. That was like my first purchase. So I'm gonna get mom's crib when I get the new deal.
Being in New Orleans and that fan base, Talk to us about what that's like for you, being who you are, because you're a high-profile guy. What's that like playing in that fan base and being in that city?
The best part about it, man, is, they show a lot of love, no matter the circumstances of what's going on as far as with our team. They're constantly giving us praise and things like that. So appreciate that. And I think the best part, man, is whenever I think I got to do it twice this past season. You go out there on the field, man, you throw that hand up, and the team, like the whole stadium gets quiet, and you drop it, and everybody starts screaming who that say they're gonna beat them Saints. It's loud, man, and it's probably one of the best stadiums I played in, other than in Knoxville. I think Knoxville Neyland Stadium is probably the littest.
Who's your celebrity crush? You know, it might be seen by a lot of people.
I kind of been, I don't know, Glow Fado.
Oh, really?
Glow Fado.
She been getting a lot of attraction lately.
Yeah, she fought.
You like Glorilla?
She's smooth.
Yeah.
Glorilla's a football fan.
She like the Steelers, though.
She like the Steelers.
She just took a picture, though, with on her album or her picture cover with Leggett from Carolina for that song.
Oh, y'all do it. He in the video. And y'all got to see each other.
Twice.
Yeah.
So guess what
That
happens?
might be for Glorilla love. So Glorilla,
Ma'am.
you got a fan. CB1, Alante Taylor from Tennessee. He's a fan of your music and he's a fan of you. You've been in the gym, he said, and he want to take you tomorrow.
We're gonna go to Moro Steakhouse.
Oh yeah.
We'll
get
your swag on. So you know if she comes to the game, you got to put on for the city.
Do that every time.
We're gonna try to make that happen. Connection.
Hey.
Outside the Glorilla, Alante Taylor.
Yeah, shout out to you, Glow.
All right, so there they go. They're trying to make love connections and stuff. All right, Alante Taylor, man. Listen, man, what do y'all think about Alante, man? That was the thing. Still some to do about where does Alante play. A lot of people think he's gonna set up at the nickel position. What do you guys think he play? I mean, we've seen him so far inside and out. I mean, he could play either or, but we'll see what Brandon Staley got in place for him. Shout out to Jay, man. Thank you for the cash out, my brother. Much love. Appreciate you, brother. For the 20 bones, man. Much love to brother Jay with the cash out, man. Much love, brother. Thank you for that. As always, man. Fam, listen. Man, that's pretty cool, man. Let me give brother Jay a round of applause for that cash out, man. Thank you, brother. And yeah, that's pretty cool, man. And yeah, Alante Taylor wants to date Glorilla. Okay, I hear you, brother. Let's get this winning on first before you start doing all that extracurricular activities, brother. Let's get this winning on. All right. So anyway, man, listen, man, that's pretty much all I got for y'all tonight, man. On the boxing tip, I see Pacquiao, man. I was watching a little bit of it here. Pacquiao drew kind of a majority draw right here with Mario Barrios. That's strange, man, because how you let a man came out, a 46-year-old, and this Manny Pacquiao, you give him a little too much respect, right? And Pac-Man was active, but he wanted the best. But at 46 years old, he went with a draw with him. So it's interesting. What does Pac-Man do now, right? What does he do now? I know it was rumored that he wants another that him and Floyd was going to do a part 2, which I don't know why anybody would see that. That would just be that wasn't even close the first time. So no, I don't want to see that. But shout out to Manny Pacquiao, 46 years old. He drew with the champion. That guy had a belt and everything. Pac-Man gave him that work. Beat him up too. And Barrios, man, barely kept his damn belt tonight. So shout out to him. Pitbull Cruz also won tonight. Shout out to Pitbull. He won tonight. I talked about one of the biggest fights, the heavyweight championship between Alexander Usyk and Daniel Dubois, Dynamite Daniel Dubois, who got blew up on the spot because he got the hell knocked out of him and beat up and knocked out in round 5. And listen, Alexander Usyk is one of the best of his generation. He beat all these guys. He beat that giant tree stump, Tyson Fury, shut him up. He beat AJ from Brooklyn. I mean, not from Brooklyn, from Britain. He beat Anthony Joshua. He beat all these guys. He beat the guy he beat tonight twice. The guy hit him in. It's just the guy was a cruiserweight. He followed a similar path to Evander Holyfield. Holyfield, I think, had 3 belts at the time. This guy was able to unify the cruiserweight, then moved up to the heavyweight and just literally dispatched every last one of them guys. So shout out to Alexander Usyk, man. Very slick fighter. And now he gonna go get it. Now he gonna go get his paper. He's supposed to be rumored to fight Jake Paul. So that's gonna be interesting as well. So it is what you got. All right. Kai says, who you got, Q? Clarissa or Layla Ali? I gotta go with Clarissa Shields. Layla Ali has not fought in years. I know I've heard interviews about her saying what she would do, that Clarissa doesn't have any power, and that Layla had power, but you got to remember she hadn't fought in years, and I don't know what kind of fighting shape she is going to be in, but it won't be easy fight. I know she's a taller fighter. I know you once a fighter, always a fighter, but it's all about conditioning. You got Clarissa Shields on top of her game right now. That'll be an interesting fight. But if anybody gonna make something like that work, it's Turkey Al-Ashik. He's gonna make that work. He's gonna make that work. All right. So yeah, Scoop says he loved the nickel under the new scheme. That's gonna be fun watching them go because I know it's gonna be interesting. King Eternal shout out to you says they walked Alante right into that with the Glorilla. Let's just before we start getting all of the hijinks and all that kind of stuff going on. Let's just make sure we take care of the business of football, brother. Because it's a lot better when she's dating a winner as opposed to a chicken dinner. You get what I'm saying? You heard that? Did you capture that, baby? All right. So anyway, listen, man. That's all I got for y'all tonight. Listen, I appreciate y'all for chiming in on this episode of The Coma, baby. Listen here, baby. It's Saturday night. We feeling right. We all good in the hood. Tomorrow's Sunday. Next week, is it next week? It's the 23rd. We get next week is camp week, perhaps. Is that how it is? Is it camp week next week? It is. I think that's next. What's the 23rd? Thursday? Is it camp week next week, peoples? Man, listen, here it's going down, baby. All right, who that dad says great show, Q. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you as always. And shout out to the Cash App and Super Chat family, man. I appreciate y'all, man, for showing some love on that thing. All right, yeah, this is gonna be awesome, man. It's gonna be what's up, Mr. Don? Shout out to you, my brother. But yeah, man, listen, fam, I'm gonna get out on that. Listen, I appreciate y'all listening to me tonight and give me y'all valuable time. Y'all do me a service. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. By all means, feel free to share the show on your social media feed. It helps out Tacoma. And by all means, fam, check out the description section below for our fantastic show sponsors. Whether it's Mint Mobile to sell you save you some money on your cell phone. Teach Henley to help out with the brothers dealing with reptile face, dry skin, stuff like that, make you look smooth. Or Optory, which is the newest sponsor of the Coma. Shout out to Optory. Optory is a service, man, that does, man, listen. Bam. If you have issue, people calling your phone, spamming calls, all this kind of stuff, spamming emails. You got information like on Google and you put it in there, all your addresses pop up. People can, in this world with all this stuff going on, you want to kind of remove that and have more of a private situation where you have security as well as peace online on this online world, right? Because we all engage there. Check out Optory. Optory not only will help you remove a lot of that off of there so they can't mess with your identity. It also protects identity, does a lot of positive stuff. If you hit the link below, it gives you 10% off on the discount. Shout out to the professor that signed up for Optory. I meant to give you an email response, Professor. I've been busy, but thank you for signing up for Optory, my brother, because it's a really great service. Just to let y'all know, like I said, in this crazy world with all this breaching and all this data breaching, all this crap going on, this data mining, it'll take you off all those lists, all that kind of stuff. But then the great thing about them is they not only take you off, but they show you how. They have tutorials that show you how you can actually remove them so you would know. And it's just a great service, man. I thought that'll be a help for you guys as well. What's up, Jamaica? Shout out to Jamaica. Good to see you in the chat. So y'all check out that, man. I always try to find sponsors that help the community, man, because it got to make sense to me. They got to be able to help the community, man, and make life a lot better for us, right? So anyway, with that being said, I'm going to get out on that. I appreciate y'all, man, for listening at me. We'll be back on the Monday stream, man. We're going to talk some more black and gold next week, man. July the 23rd, the Saints kick off 2025 training camp, man, as the season, the first steps maybe not the first steps because we had the OTs and all that, but the next steps to the upcoming preseason, leading into the regular season, and ultimately into the games that matter. As the Saints look to turn around the last 4 years of funky football, it's gonna be fun. So with that being said, I'm out, man. Salute to y'all. I'm holler at on the next one. Much love. And who that take?
Yeah. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, 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 Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like Elf. I thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube Live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your shame for the championship. Bucking on town, duck down. Falcons, pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL. When things seem fishy and you probably smell the crooked referees on Roger Goodell. Yeah, probably like this and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like this and I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the sports coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Who that say they gon' beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gon' beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gon' beat them Saints? Who that? Who that?
WhoThatDaily.com. That's right, the WhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, WhoThatDaily.com is your site. The WhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us. That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below. And remember, it helps the platform continue to grow. Check out the Pro Shop and Who That.
Hey, Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I first ditched big wireless and started using Mint Mobile way back in 2019. Back then, you could get premium wireless for only $15 a month. Today, Mint Mobile's premium wireless has gone up by... Okay, wow, that's it, zero. It's gone up $0 a month since 2019. That doesn't seem fiscally responsible to me, but again, you're welcome. And I'm not an accountant. Hate math, always hated math. True story, I was in math 10A when I was in 12th grade.
Being amazing is uncomplicated with Tiege Hanley's simplified skincare system. Here's how it works. Go to Tees.com, pick your system, and get handsome. 3 simple steps. Wash, scrub, and moisturize. It's that simple.
Guys, go to Tees.com and get started today.
To be a therapist, in my opinion, is one of the most humbling things ever.
A platform like BetterHelp is very important because it allows access to affordable mental health care.